What is up, guys? It is Will Sports, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Dolphins and the Chiefs. This was a very early game. I was asleep, and then I woke up like mid first quarter to catch the rest of this game. But this game was played in Germany. A lot of people coming into this game was talking about, will that affect your opinion of the game? I didn't think that. It's still both teams. No one had a real advantage in this game in terms of the travel. Both teams were coming in, off a game last week, and both had to fly into Germany, get acclimated to the time, get their bodies used to everything. So I didn't feel like there was a real advantage for either side. It wasn't like the Jags and Bills where the Jags were in Linden for an extra week more than the Bills, and then the Bills had to fly in. Like, this was, both teams were on an even playing field. But this game really came down to one play, in my opinion, because neither offense was very effective in this game. It was a very low scoring, kind of boring game, considering the type of firepower that both these teams have on their offense. But you look at this game, the one play that I point to is that Tyreek fumble at the end of the first half where the Dolphins could have made it a one possession game late in the first half, right before half. He fumbles it to it was like a screen pass, and Isaiah McDuffie, I think, was the one that made the tackle, and the ball came out, and that put the Chiefs up 21-0 right before the half. So that play, when you look at the final score, 21-14, was a big difference in the game because obviously the Chiefs won by a touchdown. But you look at this game, the Chiefs' defensive game plan was very good. They tried to make the Dolphins be patient. It's similar to what the Eagles and the Bills did. Jam wide receivers, get very physical with them, and just make it very tough on this Dolphins offense that has a lot of speed. But the best way to account for that is getting real physical with those guys, because that seems to be the best formula, and that seemed to be what helped the Bills and the Eagles. And they also banged up a Dolphins offensive line that they've had for weeks now, and the Chiefs took advantage of that. The Chiefs, their offense is still not a great show right now. Mahomes and Kelsey are a great duo, but outside of that, you really don't have anything else. Rashee Rice has been okay this year. He's had moments where he's looked like maybe that next best receiver. And VS has had some moments, but then he also dropped a crucial, deep ball earlier in this game. And then you're not getting much from Kadarius Toney. Sky Moore has been a disappointment, and it's just not. It's not a pretty offense. So the Chiefs' offense is still sputtering. But when you have a defense like this that is stepping up to the plate, you have so many impact guys, you're physical, you're getting to the quarterback, and you're making it tough in coverage, you're going to be successful still. And you still have Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelsey, so you're not going to be just terrible offensively. But this is not the same explosive offense that we've grown accustomed to seeing in Kansas City. They have to methodically move their way down the field. They have to take a lot of short, quick routes, the underneath routes, and let guys do stuff after the catch, and just take what the defense is giving them, because there's not a lot of explosive deep ball, type of action going on with this Chiefs team, and it's showing. And you've seen some frustration from Mahomes and Kelsey, but when you're 7-2, I think you'll be fine. I don't think there's going to be outrage, but there's probably a little bit frustration with how the Chiefs offense has just not been able to really catch a rhythm going, as the season's progressed. Travis Kelsey today had his worst game of the season. He only had 3 catches and 14 yards. And this is a team that started the game up 21-0, despite all of that. The first half, they did a pretty good job, but second half is when this offense just really couldn't do much. But the Dolphins, helped assist the Chiefs team a lot. They had several drops in this game. You had the Tyreek fumble, obviously, the O-line not doing a great job in this game protecting Tua. And it was just a game where they were outmatched physically and offensively. This team, when they face the best teams, they're just not the same type of offense. They couldn't even do much against the Eagles, and the Eagles are a bad, defense for the most part, and they still could not do much against them. The Bills, they really got worn out as the game went on. And so you face three good teams, not really good because the Bills haven't looked really good, but 3 good teams, the 3 best teams you face, and you lost all of them. it's not a good look. And all these games at some point got, so to a point where you were down double digits. And Tua has not looked elite in any of them. And I think when we start talking about Tua, we got to start kind of realizing that, hey, he's really good. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback. And I think some people like to put him in that top tier with guys like Justin Herbert and even Trevor Lawrence. I would not say he's better than Trevor Lawrence. The Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows, the Lamar. He's not on that level. I think he's proven that in all the games against the best defenses last year, this year, regardless. He's not the same quarterback when he's playing elite defenses. And it's not all his fault. I'm not trying to put everything, all the Dolphins' struggles in this game or in any of their big games on him. But late in this game, if you're that type of guy, you go win that game. And he just didn't. He underthrew a ball on a third down late in this game in the red zone. That was a major underthrow. It must have just been some type of miscommunication because the receiver was going like it was a go ball type of route for him to the end zone. But Tua, it looked like he thought he was just gonna do like a little slant route, out route to the sideline, but it was bad. And then right after that, you followed it up with a fumbled snap, and the snap wasn't great, but it was not like. It didn't look like it was a terrible snap to the point where Tua could not catch the ball. Tua fumbled that, and those were the last two plays of the game, and that was it. Raheem Mostert on that drive was carrying him too, because like I said, Raheem Mostert for most of the game was pretty ineffective just because the Dolphins' offensive line wasn't doing a great job. They were getting beat by that Chiefs D line the entire game. But Raheem Mostert reeled off some runs late in this game that got the Dolphins down the field, and Tua didn't take advantage. So I think when you look at the Dolphins, you got to start talking about them in terms of reality and what they've actually done. Yes, they're 6-3. That's a good record, and they put up 70 in a football game, and they've had a really good offensive attack against bad defenses, against bad teams. But when they played the best teams, they just haven't gotten it done. And I think they're a little bit overrated just because I keep seeing people put them in that elite tier. They're not an elite team. They're a good offense, a really good offense. And they're bad. They don't have a good defense. And offensively, they're great against the best the bad teams, but against the best teams, they're just okay. They're not terrible, but they're not great either. You're not seeing the same explosiveness. You're not seeing them go put 30, 40 points up on the Chiefs, the Bills, or Dolphins. And their defense couldn't get stops in any of those games either. This game was more about the Chiefs' just lack of firepower at receiver because the Chiefs are struggling against everybody. But I don't think the Dolphins' defense is good. So when I look at this Dolphins team right now, they're a 6-3 team. They're probably still going to win their division because the Bills are just struggling right now and they're depleted with injuries. The Jets, even though they're playing better, with Zach Wilson at quarterback, I still think there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, and they're ups right now. But there's going to be games where Zach's just not good enough and they can't move the ball. So I think the Dolphins are going to be fine as far as the division. The schedule does get a little bit tougher as the season progresses, but there's still enough games on that schedule that they'll win. I think they can win the division. I don't think they have to win 13 games to win this division. I think probably 11 will do it. As far as them, they'll be fine in that aspect. But the Dolphins I don't think they have any reason to feel good about themselves when it comes to how do you measure up against other good teams. You haven't beaten any of them. The last 2 years, you haven't beaten any of them. So all you have to go off of is the losses and the losses and the losses. And you don't match up well with any of these teams. So that is a problem. And I look at this team, and it's not a Chiefs team that is playing their best football, and you still manage to not come out and play your best football against them. And the Dolphins just, right now, I'm not buying them. And as far as the Chiefs, they don't look great right now, but I still think they're going to turn it around. I don't think they're going to become a great top tier offense in the league, but I don't see it being this bad the entire way. They do have a bye week next week before they play the Eagles, so that helps them out a lot because I think they need that right now. But they're 7-2, and I think going into that game 7-2 is the best thing you could hope for. So I look at both these teams. All I learned is that the Dolphins are who I thought they were. They're still a team. They're a good team, but they're not an elite team. And the Chiefs, while they're not playing their best football, you still cannot bet against this team on winning games and being potentially being the AFC's number one seed, because they still have Pat Mahomes. He's still going to figure out a way at the end of the day. And with how good this defense has been, that might be what carries the Chiefs to a potential Super Bowl this year. So we'll see. But let me know what you guys thought down below. Do you think the Dolphins can turn it around and still become a threat come playoff time? Do y'all think the Chiefs can get their offense going? Let me know what you guys think down below. And yeah, it's been Will Sports. Peace.